Okay, today we're talking about casting yourself as the lead role in a movie. Here we go. Hi, my name is Tom Malloy. I've raised over $25 million for financing movies. I've produced at the time of this video 16 films. I've written 30 plus screenplays, option sold or made into movies, 24 of those screenplays, and I've starred a bunch of movies. So I want to talk to you today about doing that, starring in movies. And if you are casting yourself in the movie, how do you do that? And what are the obstacles that get in your way? So, look, I have experience in this, right? Some of the films, once I got to a certain level, I was being cast by other people, but before then, I really started creating my opportunities. Now, the first film I did, I was cast just as an actor. It had nothing to do with me. And when that film kind of failed to make me a household name, I went and I started putting my own projects together and started to try to learn every other aspect of the business, right? And so, those films, I'll give you an example like that. I'll take 3 films as an example. The first being The Attic, where I co-starred with Elisabeth Moss as director of Pet Sematary. Second was The Alphabet Killer, co-starred with Eliza Dushku, but we also had Carrie Elways, Tim Hutton, Michael Ironside, Tom Noonan, Melissa Leo, all in that movie. And then Love and Dancing, which I co-starred with Amy Smart, and then there was Billy Zane and Betty White in that movie. And I'm only bringing all this up to let you know, in those movies, I starred with people that were established stars that names I don't have to explain. You know, maybe 1 or 2 here or there, but most of the ones' names I told you should probably know. And so what I'm getting at is I went and, like, when I was putting The Attic together, I didn't go, I'm going to make this movie where I am the lead role. I had not had that film experience to back it up at that point. Like, meaning a movie where it's all about me, you know, and it was a horror movie where I'm the main character walking around the house, the haunted house, and it was a haunted house movie. Like, if I cast myself as the haunted house main person, I didn't do that. What I did is I wrote a great role for a female, and Elisabeth Moss ended up jumping into that role, and she nailed it. Obviously, she nails everything she does, and I played a good supporting role to her. And maybe I would say second, third, fourth biggest role in the movie, right? And so what I did there is I cast myself in that part with good people around me, like established names. John Savage was another person that was in the movie, an actor known for ages, you know, and so that was a technique that I thought was much more powerful, to put yourself in a supporting role, a role that could be, okay, and ultimately it saves money for the production. But here's something that you need to remember when you're casting yourself. And so my first tip is what I'm saying is that try to put yourself in an ensemble or something where you're one of the lead roles, or give yourself the third biggest role and try to cast names above you. That will help your career immensely more than putting yourself as a lead role and getting no names for the rest of the cast. Trust me, it's so much smarter to do what I'm saying there. The second aspect that I wanted to talk about there, and the second tip that I'll give you, is that work on yourself. Make sure that you are top level. Like, meaning, I made sure that I had all my acting chops ready and going. Acting training, read books, took classes. Now, obviously, I'd been going since I was a little kid and doing even improv comedy since I was a little kid. So I had training in front of audiences. So what I'm getting at is that if you're just like, well, I'm just going to do it, you know, the camera's going to be on, I haven't trained. Train, read books on acting, take acting classes, make yourself better and better, because you never want to be the one person that stands out. I've seen films like that where there's, you know, maybe 2 or 3 names, and then the fourth person I look at and I'm like, oh God, that person's so horrible. And then I look it up and it's like, oh yeah, that person's one of the producers. Clearly he brought the money to the film and that's how he's in the movie, right? So that's not good. You don't want to be that standout person. And that was my goal from film 1, is to just be one of the other people in the cast. Like, yeah, that guy's really good. Or even better, you know, in The Attic, the film itself didn't come out exactly the way I wanted it, and the reviews kind of panned it, but almost every review said the person who played Frankie, which was her autistic brother, that was me, I gained like 30 pounds for the role. Like, that was something that got good critic ratings. So they would say, but the role of Frankie was well done by Tom Malloy. So I was like, yeah, I want to be better than the other people in the movie. So what I'm getting at is bring your A game. Don't immediately come to that diva bullshit where you're going to kind of, you know, I'm demanding a big trailer. Be the team player, right? My nickname on the last film that I did was One Take Tom. Why? Because I brought my A game to every single take. As soon as they yelled action, boom, brought the A game. I'm not doing this video to be like, hey, here's who I am. I'm doing this video to let you know that you have to do that. All those things you can control. Your training, your professionalism, you're showing up on time, you're nailing the takes, you're knowing your lines. You can control that. You can't control how big you are and, you know, how you're received in the kind of general public, but control all the other factors, right? So those are my 2 greatest tips of casting yourself. Try to put yourself in something where you can cast stars around yourself. Don't play the immediate lead role in the movie. If you really are hard set on the lead role, well, make sure you write another role exactly the same to you. So if you're female, write a male lead role that's just as big and vice versa, right? Or whatever the situation entails for the movie. So write a role that's equal to your size. And the second thing is work on yourself and make sure you are awesome. You can be. If you want more videos and training on filmmaking, check out the link below. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.